Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting here after Carlisle have lost away from home to Charlton Athletic in look what a lot of people say probably should be the game that gets Sam Lavelle dropped. And people have been saying that for a while now. I think people have kind of used him as a scapegoat at times. I don't think he is quite as bad as what some people like to say recently. I think a lot of the goals have been, yes, his man kind of thing. Nothing really too much like majorly his fault. He's had a few bad games, but nothing really compares to today, I don't think. I think the first goal is absolutely fluky. I don't think there's any chance that you can prevent that. I think, look, maybe stop it at the source, win the ball back in the midfield, but you're always going to lose the midfield battle from time to time. It's a wicked deflection that puts it right into the path of Alfie May, who just puts it past the keeper, which I thought was very harsh on Harry Lewis, because I think he'd had a brilliant game up to that point. He'd made some excellent saves. Yes, it's Sam Lavelle's man, but there's not really much you can do about it. The second goal and the third goal, though, I think, look, I don't really think Lavelle can be put too much to blame for the second one, although, again, it was kind of his side. But the third one is, it's an absolute defensive howler from him. It's a mishit back pass, schoolboy stuff, you know, it was just a completely unnecessary mistake that ended up losing us the game. But, you know, we've scored 2 goals away from home, which is the first time we've done that since we played Leyton Orient, which we also lost 3-2. You know, there's a theme developing here, going away to teams down south who wear red, and getting beat 3-2 because of some defensive mistakes. But yeah, look, and we scored a penalty in that one as well, so, you know, there are some aspects of deja vu here. But yeah, Luke Armstrong getting another goal, excellent finish, brilliant crossing by Taylor Charters. It's another assist for him, to go along with the one he got at Burton Albion. Yeah, it was just nice to see our big money striker get on the score sheet again, because it's been a while since that Barnsley goal. It's his second of the season now, and it, you know, hopefully that puts him in some good confidence going into the next few games. Our second goal, a penalty, a foul on Luke Armstrong. Again, him getting himself in some good areas, causing trouble, and causing that second goal, which Taylor Charters steps up and scores from. So a goal and an assist for him. And if you want to put it down as an assist, winning the penalty, a goal and assist for Armstrong as well. So, you know, maybe a nice little link up between them two can form. But it ended up not being enough because of some bad defending in the end. And that's, you know, it's really disappointing, because I think we played well today, and I think there were big parts of that game where we were the better team. And look, Charlton is struggling despite having the league's top goal scorer. I think he made it 20 today, so something daft like that. Something that none of our players have come anywhere near to. And Charlton kind of reminded me a bit of Carlisle, and I think it shows the difference a striker can have, because I don't think they played particularly well. I think they're at a similar level to us, but with a lot better striker. And I think that was the difference between us, or at least they've had that striker for the whole run of the season. Even I think Luke Armstrong could be that if you give him enough time in the team. But yeah, it's another one, and it makes the gap 17 now to 16, sorry, to safety. Which, to be fair, I think it was beforehand, so nothing's really changed. But 10 games left of the season. Are we going to make that up? We're not. It's just about now trying to finish the season well, and perform like that. And we might get a few results, but we're in this part of the season now where we're so far cut adrift that nothing really means anything, and I'm going into these games and I'm not angry about them anymore. I come out of that game today a bit, you know, nothing. There's no real strong emotion either way, because it doesn't mean anything. These are just glorified friendlies now, and I think it's just about enjoying playing teams like Charlton, like Derby, like Bolton, and enjoying being in League One while we're still here, because we've got 10 games left of it now. We're not going to be in here next season, so we just need to try and prove that there is something about us, that there is a good group of players here, and that there is some hope going into next season. And the more I think about it, the more, you know, going into next season, we're going to have 2 excellent strikers who I think are both League One quality in Armstrong and in Kelly when he comes back. We still got Coyote to come back as well, but he'll be finishing his loan at the end of the season. Will he make an appearance for Carlisle until the season's finished? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely convinced. But but yeah, difficult one to take as always. And yeah, it's just another okay performance that we didn't get the better of, and that just seems to be a theme for the entirety of this season. I don't think there's much more the coaches could have done. I thought, you bring on Sean Maguire, why? Why bring on Maguire? He's not going to be here next season. I think that's clear to see. Will they offer him a contract extension? I don't know, but I don't think he'll get offered the wages that he's on this season, and even if he does, I don't think he'll stay for his own career. I think he'll want to leave, because look, he's coming to this club, and we've been nothing but awful since he stepped foot in the door, and if I was him, I wouldn't want to stay, and I don't think the fans want him to stay, so the fact is he's not going to be here next season. Why are you wasting time for players on the pitch by using him when he comes on and he doesn't play well? I don't think there's been a time he's played well since like that very early run in the season, where we were still losing, but people used to say he had a good game kind of thing. 2 goals this season. Yes, I suppose he's maybe earned a chance after getting a hat-trick against Penrith, but in a game that we win 13-0 and you're the starting striker against what is, with all respect to White Evan Miners, an amateur team, that is the bare minimum, I'd say, in that situation for Sean Maguire. But yeah, the team we've got at the minute, and I think that's kind of what Paul Simpson's trying to do. If you look at the team, apart from the exception of Jack Diamond, who I think he's going to try and sign in the summer, these are all players that are going to be here next season. You look at Huntington, Lavelle, Mellish, I think they're all under contract for next season. Armour, yes. Ellis, yes. Looking at the midfield, Neil is in contract. Taylor Charters is going to be next season as well. Vela's going to be next season. I know he didn't start, but he would be the starting midfielder. McGeoch is going to be here next season according to his contract if he doesn't leave in the summer, which I think he might. And then you look up top, Armstrong under contract for next season, and then the Diamond, who I've already mentioned, plus the goalkeeper Harry Lewis. He's started a full team here that I think he wants to be here next year. Yes, there's going to be signings, but they're all players that are under contract for next season, with the exception of Diamond. And I think that's why he's leaving players like Maguire on the bench who aren't going to be here in a year's time. Why he's not playing, some of the other players, because they've only got a year left on the deal, and what's the point in giving them game time in games that don't really mean anything, that's not going to benefit the club, because they're not going to get it, because the club isn't going to get anything from them being match fit and from them having a good end of the season if they're not going to be here. Which is why I think Paul Simpson's doing what he's doing with the team selection. He seems to stick with this 11, which got the win at Burton, with the exception of Vila having a small injury and putting McGeoch in instead, who I think didn't play particularly badly. I thought he had a decent enough game. I don't think we lost the midfield battle by any stretch of the imagination. I think McGeoch played well. I think Neil was his usual brilliant self, and what a player he's going to be, by the way, especially if we do go down. I suppose when we go down now. And yeah, I think the midfield gelled quite well. I think Vila, Neil and Charters seems to be the first choice at the minute, and probably will be if we go down. Maybe throw Callum Guy in there at some point. I don't think you can take Charters out because he's the kind of attack and focal point in that midfield, and I don't think you can play with Guy, Vila and Neil, because that's maybe a little bit too defensive. But that's a problem for next season. And yeah, final words on this: disappointing, but I'm finding it hard to have any real strong emotions at this point because it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm just feeling a little bit deflated at the minute with these games. But yeah, strong support as always from Carlisle. It's a sold out away allocation, which is absolutely unreal for a team cut adrift at the bottom of the league, making the long trip down to Charlton. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.